Hikaru, 39 years old, died of illness after a very difficult life. God gave Hikaru a new life with a strong and healthy body. He wishes to be reborn in a desolate countryside and live the life of a farmer. However, Hikaru is not good at communicating. However, Hikaru did not have the right to decide on the land of reincarnation. He sought to negotiate and was approved by God. Hikaru was given a new life and a universal tool by God. After waking up, he realizes he has the body of a young man and is ready to start a new life with farm work. Just when he didn't know where to get the universal tool, a pickaxe suddenly appeared in his hand. Before that, Hikaru used medicine to work and grow crops and felt very light and did not lose strength. He searched for water and food around his new area and decided to choose a large tree as his base. After hours of traveling, he finally found a source of groundwater. He summoned a shovel to dig the ground very quickly and tirelessly and eventually found the underground water source. After finding water, Hikaru wasn't hungry, so he decided to clear the area and plant trees as a base. When it was getting dark, Hikaru was worried about not having enough light to build a house, so he tried summoning lighters, matches or flashlights without success. Hikaru created a magnifying glass to create fire. But it takes the sun to make fire. You will have to punch holes in the tree to create storage space and craft the necessary tools. From the logs he had just cut, Hikaru wondered if his healthy body or the light of the two moons on the planet would help him see better. The next day, Hikaru wakes up and uses a magnifying glass to create fire before continuing to expand his territory to create fields. While thinking about the problem of finding food, Hikaru was attacked by a rabbit. He ate it. After eating, he built an outdoor toilet for more comfort. Hikaru had a hard time concentrating when going to the toilet outdoors, so he built a layer around the toilet using his architectural knowledge. After much deliberation, Hikaru decided to start farming with the desire to have vegetables and fruits that could be preserved and eaten until the end of the day. However, he did not have the seeds to plant them. The next morning, when he woke up, he discovered that small sprouts had grown on the land he had plowed earlier. Hikaru decided to protect his field by erecting a fence to avoid the monster's attack. Then he built himself a hut and his field grew. While working in the field, he encountered two injured dogs outside the fence and Hikaru let them into his territory and treated them well. When a pregnant dog was in pain, he left it in the hut and warmed it up by lighting a fire outside the door. The next morning, he saw 4 newborn puppies and raised them with delicious meals, a safe place in the shack, and built himself a new home. When the puppies started to run and jump, it was time for Hikaru to harvest the crops. The wolves also help him to hunt and protect the fields from other wild animals. Hikaru named them Kuru because of their black coat color. He also wants to make more furniture and instruments for preserving agricultural products. After using the universal tool for a while, his farmer's life gradually improved. Hikaru discovered that plants could grow on their own without seeds. Some of these potatoes have been partially exposed to sunlight, they have gradually turned green. He also found a way to protect himself from the sun by adding soil to the roots of potatoes. Hikaru lived a leisurely life with the god's help and carved a statue of him and a statue of the god of agriculture in gratitude. He started planting fruit trees and playing discus with his dogs. Dogs also help him increase range and territory. Defending the field, Hikaru found a spring and was trying to build a pipeline to bring water to his territory. He also turns the universal tool into a trolley to move and do things easily. The weather has turned to winter and the mountains are covered with snow. Hikaru tried using the giant rabbit's fur to make a warm coat, but it didn't work. Then a giant spider came and gave him a plush cloth handkerchief. Hikaru decided to name the spider Zabul. He passed the cold winter. After the snow melts in the spring, the dogs mature and come out of the nest to find a mate. Due to the increase in the number of family members, Hikaru decided to expand the farmland when suddenly the spider rang the alarm. Hikaru discovers a naked girl covered in spider webs. But when he approached to help her, he was tied around his neck by the girl and turned into a beautiful young woman with a beautiful outfit. However, she was attacked by a dog and reverted to her baby girl form. After questioning, Hikaru learned that the meeting was a coincidence and that she had no ill intentions. The girl needed blood to recover, and Hikaru gave her blood to drink. He led her into his territory, where there were many plants that she had never known. Hikaru took the girl to participate in the harvesting of agricultural products, and the two had a very happy day together. During the conversation, Hikaru learns that a girl named Yuru is researching medicinal plants and is being pursued by a noble. Although he was surprised to learn that the forest he was in was a very dangerous place, called the Dead Forest and inhabited by the wolves of hell. However, the girl was amused by the universal tool that Hikaru was using. Hikaru wanted Yuru to stay and live with him, and the girl finally agreed. However, Hikaru only realized at the last minute that begging Yuru to stay was actually the same as proposing. Hikaru wondered since Yuru was a bit younger, but she explained that it was for self-defense. Yuru asked Hikaru if she could grow herbs in her field, and Hikaru agreed. She uses magic to create a lamp in the toilet, and the two enjoy herbal tea together. However, when the spider sounded the alarm, Hikaru and Yuru discovered a winged blonde girl wrapped in a spider's web that looked very familiar to Hikaru. The blonde girl is the target of Yuru's pursuit but is attacked by the dogs. The three of them went to Hikaru's house to rest. Tifa is surprised to learn that Hikaru is Yuru's husband. Tifa is the one who arrested Yuru for rioting in the town, but Yuru explains that a nobleman forced her to make medicine. However, Tifa retorted that Yuru likes to research questionable medicinal herbs and always explodes when it doesn't suit his eyes. Ignoring this, Tifa is offered to stay with Hikaru and Yuru. The three of them toured the fields with Hikaru's cattle and harvested the crops. Hikaru had harvested the crops and made the cabbage and sprinkled it with salt. Tifa was amazed by the freshness of this raw vegetable. She likes strawberries because they are both sweet and sour. She thinks finding work in the field is more interesting, so Yuru suggests living happily together and harvesting vegetables. He decided to make a dog area next to the orchard because the other hut didn't have enough space for the dogs. A few days later, Tifa returned, bringing many disadvantaged fairies to settle down because they were destroyed 200 years ago. Hikaru agrees to let everyone get along. Hikaru decided to build a new place for the 7 of them and build more toilets and garbage disposal. The fairies have built together using professional techniques in the construction, handling and arrangement of wood. Hikaru and the fairies learned a lot from each other. After 10 days of construction, everyone's house was completed with a spacious space, a large common room to gather, play, and eat. Hikaru felt jealous that the house was better than his hut. During his conversation with Lyre, Hikaru was surprised to learn that goblins also eat meat and use fire. Before that, Hikaru learned that fairies live in harmony with nature and hate fire. Lyre wanted more help, so he offered to be a miner and a smithy, but first he had to get a forge. Hikaru was surprised that they were able to do that because he thought the dwarves' profession was metal smithing, and he built the smithy following Lyre's instructions. They put coal in the furnace and then heat it to create exquisite metal products.